Well, what is up? And thank you again for checking us out. It is Sports Sunday. Talking about some of the things going around the sporting world today. I do have to laugh because I was watching a show and they were talking about the possibility of this in the Major League Baseball. There's actually 4 teams that are vying for the wild card spot. We could actually end up with a playoff to go into the playoffs. So that was kind of funny. Of course, one of those teams that I'm kind of a little bit monitoring is the Seattle Mariners. I believe they're on the longest drought of not making it to the postseason. So definitely would be good to see them get into the playoffs. In order for that to happen, they have to win today, and the Yankees or the Boston Red Sox would have to lose. And there's one other team in the same situation that they would have to win, and Boston and New York would have to lose. And if that happened, then all 4 teams would then go into a playoff game to go into another playoff game. And the winner of that would go into the playoffs. So just an interesting scenario that could play out in baseball. I used to be a big baseball fan, but then around the strike, kind of fell out of it. Been kind of monitoring it here and there, but haven't really been a big fan of it. So, I mean, it's kind of bringing me back a little bit. Haven't really watched a game. I've went to a game. Went to a Pittsburgh Pirate game about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was nice because I actually sat in the all-you-can-eat seats, where you pretty much got like free ice cream sandwiches, hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, I think even soda. And as we're getting ready for the game, they're out there, they're tossing the ball around, they're warming up, and it's delayed. Like, there's some clouds and stuff in the area, but it's not really doing nothing. And then they come over and announce that the game is under rain delay. Don't you need rain for a rain delay? Because there was no rain. And then, of course, it did start raining. And they actually did announce, they actually ended up putting on the hockey game because the Pittsburgh Penguins were in I believe it was actually the Stanley Cup. It was like they were in the Stanley Cup. So they put on the game and everybody goes crazy and they're all cheering. Kind of funny, a bunch of baseball fans cheering for a hockey game. We actually, because of the rain and there was possibility, and it did happen, there was a thunderstorm too. They did call us inside to the concourse. So we were kind of like standing, like that little hallway that you'd walk to go out to the field to your seats. We had to kind of stand in that hallway and look down there to see the screen. They did have probably on the monitors also the game, but most people were standing in the different hallways watching the much larger screen. But the nice thing about it too was I was able to get my tickets set to the next game, which was now a doubleheader. The way it worked was weird because there's no guarantee. You'd be able to change your ticket for a future game. From what I understand, there's no refunds, and this game was in Pittsburgh. I live in Oregon. I'm not gonna drop $500, $600, $700, probably even closer to $1,000 by the time you factor in a hotel to go to a baseball game. So thankfully the game wasn't sold out. I was able to transfer my ticket to the next day's game, because also I was headed out of Pittsburgh and I was going out to Philadelphia for a couple days, which I don't know if you guys know Pennsylvania. It's kind of like a rectangle. It's very interesting. Like, I mean, you can get to other states in a couple hours. You can go from coast to coast maybe like in 2 hours, but to go from Pennsylvania to Pittsburgh, it's like 4+ hours. I'm like, I can be like 3 states in any other direction in 3 hours. Yeah, to go from, but it's just because it's the two sides of the rectangle. But yeah, like that was the only game that kind of would fit into my schedule. Um, so I was lucky, it worked out. So I actually got to go to the doubleheader in the all-you-can-eat seats. So yeah, I mean, because you can, I mean, if I don't know if you guys have ever gone to a baseball game, but food, I mean, any sports, football, basketball, food ain't cheap. So especially a double header now. I mean, you're gonna be buying stuff, so it's nice to have that included. The other big news story I thought was kind of interesting. It kind of, uh, well, we'll just talk first about this part. So, Josh Gordon, who of course formerly from the New England Patriots, has a long legal problems in the past, has joined the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad. Richard Sherman has joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He actually, today's Sunday, so back on Friday, he actually had to go to court. I mean, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so I saw it. It was a big story. I don't know. I know some of the sports shows were talking about this when it happened, but there was an incident with Richard Sherman when back in Seattle. He was playing for the 49ers at the time. I believe he was still with the team. And there was an incident at his father-in-law's house where he's just banging on the door and yelling and cursing, and like he had just freaked out. So I mean, he was kind of done with the league. But I kind of find this funny because you have two problemed NFL players, and I'm not saying they don't deserve a second chance. I mean, everybody does. But I just kind of find it funny that you have two troubled players and they join the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I find it funny because, was it last year? I believe it was last year. Le'Veon Bell, who was kind of known, I mean, not any kind of legal problems, but being kind of demanding lots of money, like I'm the best thing in the league. I deserve to be paid for running back and wide receiver salary. Like he didn't want to just be the highest paid running back. He wanted like a ton of money to sign with him, and he was with the Steelers and was phenomenal with us. But there's no way. I mean, these players, like the salaries are so exuberant already, and to now go up to that level. I mean, especially right now with salary caps too, being so low because of COVID. But yeah, he was just demanding a ton of money. Ended up going to the Jets, and then didn't really pan out there, and then kind of went over to Kansas City. And then Antonio Brown also. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Both these guys are former Steelers. But he went to Tampa Bay. And, of course, Antonio Brown was known for a lot of his problems. I mean, I thought it was funny. Like, he like, skipped practice or something like that right before the playoffs. So to save Antonio Brown's face, they ended up just saying he was hurt and wasn't going to play the game instead of saying that he's been suspended. And then Antonio was like, I ain't hurt, I can play. And then it came out, I was like, okay, fine. He violated terms, and we suspended him. And, I mean, then he got cut, went to Oakland, flew in a helicopter, went to a practice game, froze his foot off with, like, the ice therapy. I can't even, cryotherapy thing, like burned his foot with that. Was refusing to wear the new NFL football helmet that was being put onto the players. He got in an argument with I think it was like the owner, and like, well, no, actually, I want to say he threw the football either like at Ben Roethlisberger or Mike Tomlin's foot, and it was kind of like what caused all the stuff in Pittsburgh. Went to Oakland, and then he like threw a helmet or something like that at either the manager or owner of the team there. Then I know his condo got raided after all of this, after the Raiders had let him go. Then he went to New England, and then that didn't work out. Then he went to Tampa Bay. But yeah, it was just funny because like that same year, Tampa Bay signed Antonio Brown, Kansas City signed Le'Veon Bell, and that's kind of what's going on now again. Those two teams are signing two players kind of with like a trouble past. Let's see what else we had. The other one too, the big news story. I'm trying to see where I wrote that down here. I was kind of shocked at this one. I mean, I like it, but I'm shocked by it. Have you guys heard about the Super Bowl halftime show? Yeah, the Super Bowl has gone gangsta. I mean, performing at this year's Super Bowl is the Snoop D-O-double-G. Snoop Doggy Dogg. But why stop there? I mean, you don't stop there. Let's bring in... Nowadays, everybody want to talk that they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and act like they forgot about Dre. Yes. Not only do you have a Snoop Dogg, let's put in the Dr. Dre. But of course, why stop there? I mean, that Forgot About Dre was such a big song. Why don't we drop one of the biggest names? Chicka Slim Shady! Marshall Mathers is performing at the Super Bowl. I mean, we talked about this yesterday in the karaoke origin story. You know, Kid Krazy, Kid Shady. You know, it's one of my namesakes. I do a lot of Eminem rap music. So, yeah, totally surprised Eminem is performing at this Super Bowl. And again, why stop there? Two other names that are in there as well is Mary J. Blige and Kendrick Lamar. But yeah, that is going to be an interesting Super Bowl, I got to say. I mean, it seems like they usually try to appeal to more of the masses. I think I'm going to like the Super Bowl, I believe. The Super Bowl halftime show. But I can already see where, 80-90% of the population is not gonna like it. I mean, I don't know, but I'm excited. I think it's an interesting concept. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that one. The other thing here locally that happened, Portland International Speedway in Portland, it's time to start your engines. They have signed a deal with NASCAR Infinity Series. They're going to be doing it's a 3-year deal at Portland International Speedway. So we're getting NASCAR in Portland. I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm not a big racing fan, so I don't really know if the Xfinity Series is a style of car, maybe like smaller cars, different cars, or if they're just a full-on regular NASCAR cars. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. So it's like, I don't know, I think most of the guys I know have kind of all retired, but you know, like kind of cool to think of, you know, like the Kyle Petty's, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon. Like I said, I'm sure they've all are out of the circuit now, but I mean, a couple years ago, it would be going through Portland. I don't know. It's like it's not a sport that I'm big into. I know a few people that are huge fans of it. I did actually get the opportunity to go to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and that was a rush. Like, we toured the different tracks. We got to go walk down like the pit row. It wasn't during a race, so I mean there wasn't like all that. So we actually probably had more access than we would. But the cool thing is, we're sitting in this van and we pull up and we do like kind of like a lap around the track, and then we kind of pull up to the starting line, and then another van pulls up next to us, and then we take off. We're doing, I think we did like 3-4 laps. But I'm sitting there in shotgun, and I'm kind of like holding on to that suicide handle. That embankment, like, it kind of looks a little bit more. I mean, it looks like it's at an angle, but it's like at an angle. Like, I'm kind of sitting here, going around that. But it was a blast to kind of be there, and I think that's one of those ones where, for me, it's more fun to be there, to take it in, as opposed to just watching it on TV. It's kind of like hockey. Don't really like watching hockey, soccer. Don't really like watching soccer. But if I'm at a game, it's totally different. It's not the same. And I feel like that's kind of almost where NASCAR is. It's one of those ones where it's much better to be there as opposed to watching it on television. And of course, if it's a Sunday sports show, we have to talk about ding, 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 the main event. Tonight, there are some massive games. It was funny, actually. I was looking up some of the different games being played, and for the most part, all the games, you can go buy tickets. They're all less than $100 starting price. But there were 3 games that were over, it was like 103, something like that, to go see the Eagles playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they were both recently in the Super Bowl. I get it. Then there's one that was 170 something, which would probably be the one I'd be interested in, because let's face it, we're in Steelers country here. It's our Pittsburgh Steelers. Traveling to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. That's like $173, $176. And then the other massive game tonight, coming in at $299 starting price. Like nosebleed seats. But what a game this one is going to be. New England Patriots taking on the Tom Brady Buccaneers. Or is it Tampa Bay? I forget what the TB is. I think the TB stands for Tom Brady Buccaneers, right? I mean, it's definitely his team. But yeah, and that's being played in Gillette Stadium. I mean, this is Tom Brady headed back to New England. I did hear a sports columnist throw out this idea, which this would be hilarious, probably not going to happen. But they were asked the question, what's going to happen? Are the fans just going to boo Tom Brady? Will they maybe boo him at first, but then cheer for him? Or will they cheer for him first and then boo him later? What are they going to, how are they going to react to Tom Brady coming back to New England? And one of the commentators said, I can see them just cheering for Tom Brady and booing New England. I'm like, wow, that is... unlikely, but I could see that happening. I just think that'd be kind of, I don't know, hilarious for lack of other word, but for the team to kind of turn on the home team for their hero Tom Brady. But yeah, that's going to be a great game, and then also too the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. I mean, that for me is the big one, but I'm just excited to watch the other game too. And then the last one that we had on Thursday, we did have the Bengals over the Jaguar. And what I was pulling for the Jaguars. They were back and forth, back and forth. And I mean, literally, it was I forget what probably should have wrote down the score, but it was something like 21-21. And as time expires, the Bengals kick a field goal and win with 0 seconds left on the clock. It's kind of been weird. There's been a lot of games that have literally been decided with 0 seconds, or not 4 quarters can contain it. Like, games have gone into overtime. I don't know. I feel like that's been happening a little bit more this year. I mean, we're just starting off the fourth game. Say fourth season, but it's not the fourth season. Fourth week, that would be the correct term. But yeah, definitely digging this season. Although my team are not doing too well, we need to bounce back here. And yeah, it's against Aaron Rodgers. We can do it. We got this. I'm gonna be bold. It's my team. I can't go against them. So yeah, come on, Steelers. We got this. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us today. Of course, what we're doing here, we're doing a weekly show, kind of covering different aspects. If you do have any questions, comments, send those in. We do have the address down below. You can reach me at RealKidKrazy. It's crazy with a K, just like it sounds. Everything else, RealKidKrazy. You can email me, realkidkrazy@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at RealKidKrazy. And yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be doing Good News Monday. There's a lot of negativity out there. It's time to break that up. It is time to find some good news. Keep your heads up. Find joy. Choose joy. Tuesdays will be Paranormal Tuesdays. I think we'll probably go over my paranormal origin story, like how did I get involved with it. We'll be talking about that on Tuesday. Healthy Wednesdays. I'll be kind of checking in, saying what I'm doing, where I'm at, things that have worked, things that haven't worked, opportunities. And also maybe just inspire you guys too. I'm definitely on a path. I want to lose weight. I want to get healthier. I've kind of done pretty good, I think, right now. It's always nice. I have a Fitbit account where I've put in my weight. I put it in there daily, and it's kind of nice when you look at like the past even like year, and you just kind of see like the angle of that. So I mean, it's definitely motivating. It can also, especially sometimes you kind of get like that little, when you're kind of going back up, no. But it's nice to see progress, to actually have confirmation, because there are times like you kind of dip down and you start going back up, and if you look at just a short period of time, you might not see the bigger picture. So it's nice to kind of have like a record there. Thursdays is TV Thursday. We'll be talking about some different movies, TV shows. A lot of the shows I follow seem to be on Wednesdays, so Thursdays is just a good day for that. We'll do Mercari Fridays. It's kind of funny. I was watching this 10x money growth challenge thing I've been taking part of, and one of the speakers in the video was talking about, her name was Stormy Wellington, and she was talking about flipping, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. So that's kind of cool. Mercari is a website. I will have their link down below. I think I've got the link also to my store in there as well. What I've done is I subscribe to Bambox. I've subscribed to other boxes in the past. You get really cool stuff, but not all the franchises am I a big fan of. So some of those items I've placed on there. So if you're interested in those, you can purchase them on that website. I've started going through listening to guys like Gary Vaynerchuk. He does this trash talk where you go around to different garage sales, you find stuff. and you flip them, you resell them. So I mean, some of the stuff is stuff I've picked up through that, just stuff I've collected, things that I've purchased over time. I mean, just a hodgepodge of stuff. But yeah, we've got plushes, autographs. I know the big one right now is there's a Rob Snyder autograph on there. But yeah, there's always stuff going in, tons of Disney stuff. Recently had an opportunity I picked up. It's kind of always been a little hesitant of it, but we do actually will have some Raggedy Ann dolls going up there. Some of you paranormal fans might know about the Raggedy Ann reference there. Uh, and then of course karaoke Saturday. But I just want to thank you all for checking out this video. Any suggestions, anything you want to see, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. You can always, as I said, hit me up on those other channels as well. And if you would, it would mean a lot to me if you do like the video, especially because we are starting out. You do want to get noticed, and that does help with that. And then also like the video if you do like it. But yeah, that's everything for today, for this week. We will see you tomorrow or for some good news.